right. Buddy, do you have any kind of an update you can offer us on Kyle?
No, not yet, Trace. I think this morning Kyle is getting some imaging done, an MRI, and maybe a few other scans, and we'll get those results mid morning or potentially late afternoon. I'm not sure, but I think he's going through those tests right now.
Thank you.
Patrick Saunders.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm well, Patrick.
Hey, we were talking to Dave Magadan a few minutes ago. He was awesome, by the way. He was talking about the approach the team needs to take as a whole offensively. And I found it interesting that he thought too many of you guys are missing fastballs. Have you seen the same thing? Is that one of the things you guys need to improve?
You know, we talk about a lot of things as it relates to our offense, and one of our goals this year, is to be better at hitting fastballs, and it's something that the guys amongst themselves are talking about as well, and all the things that go along with that, right? Being ready to hit from pitch one, and trying to really be on the fastball more often than maybe certain guys have been in the past. So, there have been games this year where, man, we're scoring up fastballs, we're ready to hit them, and there's other games like yesterday, for instance, didn't look like we were on the A's pitchers' fastballs. So, again, it is a sort of a group goal and challenge for us this year. And that's a lot of the discussion that we have going on.
And one more for me. Of the guys in camp so far this year, how do you think Fuentes offensively has looked overall? And you mentioned many times that Cactus League numbers can be very hollow. How do you think he's looked overall at the plate?
I think overall, pretty reminiscent of what we saw last year, right? I think his batting average is up there. He's taking good swings. The bat speed is there. He rifled the ball yesterday into left center. Got a couple well-struck balls in Surprise, hit a home run up in Surprise on a hanging breaking ball. So overall, I think this spring he's swinging the bat well.
Great. Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Thomas Harding.
Yeah, buddy. As far as pitching goes, after the B game yesterday, what were your reports on Chichi Gonzalez and Ryan Rollison?
They both threw well. I think in the B game we shut the Diamondbacks out. They didn't score. Spoke with both Chichi and Rollison, individually, and they said they threw well. And the report from the pitching coaches validated that. So. Good news from the B game from our player development staff who watched the game, and again the commentary from Chichi and Ryan was solid. They felt good. They threw the ball well. Good results, pitch count, strikes, stuff. All the things that we look for. It was good, and even Santos threw a clean inning as well.
Yes, yeah, I remember he threw a clean inning. What about the next time out for them? Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen with Kyle, but you do want to be careful with him. Both those guys, do you extend the pitch count? Maybe pitch them on top of each other, 1B, 1A. How do you? And do you look at that Kyle spot yet?
Well, yeah, I think we always, you always have contingency plans, and obviously they've been, put into place already. Not knowing what's going to happen with Kyle. But, Chichi has, his pitch count has been elevated, through this spring. Yesterday we backed him off a couple thinking that, our 5 starters were, looking pretty good, right? And then the unfortunate arm injury yesterday to Kyle might necessitate, Chichi maybe getting built back up. But he and Derek Rodriguez and Rawlson are the 3 of those fellows are they're capable of throwing 75 pitches the next time out, based on what they've done so far this spring. So their pitch count has been built to a certain level, but we'll probably press that a little bit more the next time they take them out.
I mean, do you look at that as kind of the determining factor on who gets that spot, and have you made a decision on Rolston that maybe he's not quite making?
No, we haven't made a decision yet on any of those fellows and what the role will be. We have another 8-9 days to make that decision, but for sure, we're gonna need a starter, whether we need it that first weekend of the season or into later in that homestand or in San Francisco. We'll pop somebody in there, but whoever that is, his pitch count will be to the point where we feel comfortable about it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, Thomas.
Nick Groke?
Yeah, hey, buddy, just follow up on that then. Timing-wise, is Antonio Senzatella okay to pitch in the opening series?
We think so. He threw, 4 innings. His pitch count got to 60 the other day. He'll pitch. He'll have another start. We'll get him to 75, 80 pitches, and then the time after that, I think the season's here, and we'll he'll be comfortably around 90. We'll feel good about that. But his arm has been great. We just had to overcome a little bit of the leg issue, but as far as his arm and his arm strength and the building pitch count, his last start in Surprise got him to 60-ish, and then his next start coming up will get him to 75, 80, and we'll feel pretty good about where he is.
I'm trying to wrap my head around some of the implications here. So, one of those three, if one of those three ends up maybe as a long reliever, do you need to ramp them down a little bit at the end of spring to save them a little bit?
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, you want all your relief pitchers, ready for game one and fresh, and but yet with enough, spring training innings to feel good about where they are stuff wise and durability. So, but once you build your pitch count and you go into the bullpen, you don't lose that length, for at least 2 or 3 weeks if you don't get those pitch counts in competition. So it's much easier to scale a guy down than it is to ramp a guy up.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Drew Friesman? Go ahead, Drew.
Morning, buddy.
Hi, Drew.
Wanted to ask you about Lucas Gilbreth. Looked real sharp this spring. Last time we got a chance to see him, he was in high A ball. One of those guys, with a year of no minor leagues, it's tough to get. So how close is he, and how has he managed to show up looking so sharp this spring with no minor league season last year?
Yeah, well, he's, again, I think he's got a good head on his shoulders, and more importantly, he's got a good arm to go with the head. So, again, last year was supposed to be the AA level for Lucas. That didn't happen, but yet he's a year older now, and just on the maturity scale, that helps, even though maybe he didn't pitch last season. But he's coming into big league camp and shown well. He's a little bit older. He's got 300 minor league innings, not a ton, but some new school thinking. It's enough for some minor leaguers and some organizations to think that a guy's ready. But he hasn't pitched out of A ball, but his stuff is big league quality. And the way he's throwing the ball now, he's put himself on the radar. He's close. Again, if he doesn't make the team, more than likely he'll be in AAA. He's making that full-time move to the bullpen. His stuff has clicked up because of that. He's got to get used to that, that routine, becoming a relief pitcher. I mean, it's different than being a starter, which he was in the minors. So, but again, I think you look at the head. I think he's adaptable. He's got good awareness, perspective. So, he's put himself in a pretty good spot, I think, moving forward, with us as a, potential big league pitcher.
And then another guy in a similar category, maybe a little bit more prospect shining from our perspective, has been Ben Bowden. also showing out nicely. You know, how close is he, do you think, to being one of those guys that's major league ready?
You know, Ben has had a really good spring statistically, and you know, to our critical eye, it's been pretty impressive. You know, he has pitched at the AAA level. He's been in big league camp a couple years, so you know, he's familiar with, you know, this environment, the teammates, the guys that he's rubbed shoulders with the last couple years, and he's putting his best foot forward. And the big thing with him, he's healthy, which is a great thing. So again, you know, as it comes down to it, next week we're gonna have to make some hard decisions, and Ben's making it hard on us, which is what we want. You know, we want guys pitching well and playing well. But I'm excited for him that he feels as good as he's felt in a while, coming back from some injuries, and you know, the ball's coming out fine, you know, to his norm. The fastball's live. The breaking pitch, I think, still has a little ways to go, but it's improving. So there's some good things with Ben.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
I'll go to Owen Perkins, and we'll finish up with Jenny Kavner. Owen, go ahead.
Hi, buddy. Good to see you. I just wanted to follow up with Kyle. Trying to get a handle from a distance. Is it possible to give a best case scenario now? Is it conceivable that he wouldn't miss any time?
It looks as though he's probably going to miss time, Owen. Again, I'd hate to put a timetable on this so soon without knowing what what's really going on in his shoulder. But he's going to miss time.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we'll finish up with Jenny. Jenny, go ahead.
Hey, buddy. Obviously some stuff that you need to look through with Kyle, but with opening day being about a week away, do you have any closer indication who will be your opening day starter?
Yeah, we're getting fairly close to announcing that for sure. Not quite ready yet because we haven't told the guys in the rotation, where they're going to be and where they're pitched. But Jen, that's coming relatively soon.
Yep.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay. All right, guys.